Come to Stage Presence. Come spend some time with me at Stage Presence. And I will teach you how to read an audience. I will teach you how to read an audience so you know how to effectively communicate with an audience. Because it's all about that. In other words, you have to connect with people. Like some people are like, man, how come I don't build a bigger business? Right? You got to be able to connect with people.
As far as the Stage Presence, which is basically a speaker's boot camp training goes, it's very intense. It's a 4-day training program where Greg Ammerman spends personal time with just a handful of individuals. It's limited to a certain number so that he could spend personal quality time with them. And it's all about perfecting your stage presence, your speaking skills. How do you relate to an audience? How do you speak on the fly? How do you get the message out perfectly? It's all about timing, it's all about thinking on your feet, it's all about speaking as a team, but being a strong speaker. It's a wonderful program. The moment you walk into that training to the time that you walk out, you are a completely different person. And the fact that the ending is basically sort of like maybe like an American Idol, so to speak, where there's actually judges who get to judge all the speakers on the final day, it's a great event.
You know, a lot of times people ask me, what is Stage Presence Speakers Boot Camp and how it came about? And really it came about because when you think about it, public speaking is something that is so feared. What do they say? That they would rather die than actually have the opportunity to get in front of a group of people. And so we put together this amazing program, and kind of regardless of what your goals are, because everyone's goals are different, meaning you could have somebody who just wants to get over the fear of public speaking and maybe just becoming a better presenter, to somebody who says, I want to be a professional speaker. So you have that varying degree of the reasons why somebody would attend. But you see, at Stage Presence Speakers Boot Camp, it's all about getting up there and doing. It's not about theory, it's not about philosophy, it's not about concept, it's about getting up there and really seeing what you can do. So one of my favorite parts is right from the get-go, as soon as you get here to Stage Presence, you are in front of the room and you're doing a presentation, you're given a homework assignment. And you have to prepare about a week to 10 days in advance, and then you come in and you're in front of the room and you're presenting and you're being filmed, which by the way, that scares the heck out of people. And then I'm basically back there taking notes, writing down all the things that I see within your presentation. And then you have an opportunity to be critiqued. Now, why is that so important? Because you have to have a starting point. You have to have a basis for a beginning, so we can see where you are. Now, here's the best part. Regardless of what your natural talents and abilities may be, one thing we know for sure, every single person that comes is going to improve dramatically in their 4-day time with us. It's awesome. I mean, I've never had one event, we've done a lot of these, where people didn't dramatically improve.
Speakers Boot Camp was an interesting training, and the reason I say that is I had done some training before, and so when I went to Speakers Boot Camp, I thought that this would be a sharpening of the pencil. I didn't realize I was going to need a new pencil. And so the information that I gathered is the individual training that you see the most growth than any other program, because they record you before, they record you after, and all of the exercises that you do, you see phenomenal growth, no matter whether you've spoke before with people or whether you haven't. It is the single most training that you see the major improvement in a couple of days. It is a phenomenal, incredible event.
Overall, it was a very fun experience, and I'm glad I got to stretch myself, that I allowed myself to stretch myself. Whether I become a speaker, a trainer, I'm going to be able to utilize the tools just to be a better person so that I could bring value in somebody else's life.
I learned that Greg Ammerman He's got humor. He's got class. He's just a class act. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. He knows his stuff. He's been doing this for, 29, 30 years? And you know what? He has a passion really to help people.
Coming here allowed me to feel that I can do it. You know, the doubts and fears of, I could never do that, because the speakers that are, when you do watch speakers, it does look easy, but you know it's not. But going through the drills and seeing the growth that I had made from when I first came here to now, I know that I could just keep getting better. So that feels really promising to me.
I've known Greg for 2.5 years, and I've taken a lot of trainings from him. And definitely this is one of the most challenging things I've ever been through, because I had to look inside of myself and really, really dig down deep. Some of the exercises we did really got me way out of my comfort zone, but I needed it.
Stage Presence has been an amazing event. Actually, probably the one that I've done that has proven to be the most growth, if you allow yourself to grow. If you're just open to the experience, I feel like Stage Presence is the one event that you just can't miss. It's the one that you have the most potential growth for.
Greg is teaching you practical, proven methods that has worked for him, has worked for several other people, hundreds of people in the industry. And I can tell you, Greg's mentorship has meant all the difference between my success and my failure. I want to be mentored by the best, and Greg Ammerman is certainly the best. Look at the leaders he has. Look at the trainers that he has trained. That's what real strength of leadership is. Not what you are, but the people who are following after you. That says a lot about Greg. Integrity, honesty, knowledge, and experience.
And that's one thing I love about Greg. I mean, he's just open, he's transparent, he's loving, he's kind, he's brilliant. I can go on and on and on. He's just an amazing man, and he brings value into your life.
The investment for this program was absolutely worth it. I feel like the value that it gave to me, it's going to pay off a ton in the future. Working with Greg Ammerman was amazing. He has so much value, and he is full of wisdom and knowledge, and you could just feel it being around him. I like how true he was. I like how direct he was. Like, if he is going to tell you something, it's because he knows it's to help you get better. And so I like that he smiles, he's funny, but he's also really direct, and he does it with purpose.
I've been to many different events and spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. Now, this is very, very affordable, and you get some quality training. There's just, I mean, it's invaluable, really, because really, who are you working on? On yourself. You're the greatest investment in the world. If you want to be better, these are the things that you have to do.
So stage presence for somebody, whether you're the beginner and maybe you just want to get over the fear or to be more comfortable with presenting, or somebody that's already pretty good but wants to hone in, sharpen their skills, and become just a seasoned veteran, this is a place to be. And the final thing I'll say is, you know, when you think about someone like David Copperfield, who's an amazing magician, and we watch and we're amazed and marvel at what he's doing. But wouldn't it be neat to go behind the curtain and for him to then show you what he actually did to pull off those tricks? And when you come to Stage Presence Speakers Boot Camp, that's what you're basically learning. How do you actually do it? How do you actually engage an audience? How do you use pitch, pace, tone, range, pauses, all the things that move the audience, that engage the audience. And all of that happens at Stage Presence Speakers Boot Camp.